I need to go there and see that later.
Can we send you theirs?
I got it yesterday. I got the board that last week. I just didn't
Is that
have
from some kind of thing? How much were they killing you? It's been a little while. I was just, we were talking today about going up and see. So this will have to be approved, right? You put approved on this one.
It used to be,
We did, we approved that one, okay.
Might have been with something that had him updated.
He don't talk. You get him talking about his deer plots.
Oh, yeah.
He was selling last time I thought, he was selling deer. Start reading this anymore. It is time to start. About 5:30. Do we still have four? We should do school board members. Public committees. Always have.
I'll go ahead and get started tonight since some of us have to attend sports tonight, so we'll make it quick for some of us. First of all, I'd like to thank for everybody for coming tonight. Love to see this room filled to capacity, even standing room only. So you're in for a treat tonight. One, the retired education teacher tonight is outstanding, and two, the student recognitions are also outstanding. So you're in for a treat. Plus, it's not a very long agenda. So you got two things going for you tonight. So first of all, I'd like to start out with a moment of silence, and I always say, just kind of reflect on the past of what's happened throughout the year, and just say. We're pleased to have everybody back from a long and relaxing spring break, and was always happy to see everybody revised, rejuvenated, and recharged, as Michael says. And also kind of looking forward to the coming months and coming to the rest of the year. It's going to be a challenging year as we start the budget program. And that's always a challenge in going forward. And also kind of keep in mind, I know it's a little bit further ahead of time, but there's going to be 3 new board members coming on board in September. So just kind of pray for them, pray for the board, pray for the whole as a whole thing. So if you would just have a moment of silence, and we'll reflect from the pledge. Thank you. Please stand. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call roll.
Caruso,
Here.
Daniel,
Here.
Dryden,
Here.
Hartsfield,
Here.
Jacobs, Mabry,
Here.
Nodder,
Here.
Rochelle, Weathers, 7 present, 2 absent.
7 out of 9, that is we do have a quorum. First on the agenda tonight, like I said, is a retired education educator, and it's my pleasure to offer tonight this month's educator, retired educator. Now, this young lady, and I say young because she's very vibrant and young. I can stand up here and go for 2 hours because of the lengthy resume that she has, not only through the education here in Lawrence County, but throughout the whole county. She's just outstanding young lady. We've always come to this, each one board member says, who do I pick? And there's so many out there. It just takes a while. You go through a list here, and I kind of reached out to other ones, and they said, well, let's do Cheryl. Perfect. That's perfect. So without further ado, I'm going to go over some bullets of what she accomplished, and then without further ado, we'll present her with a big trophy and a plaque. So her personal history is she was born in Lawrenceburg, and she attended public schools until she graduated from Lawrence County High School in 1960 something. So I'm not gonna so it's 1965. So congratulations. Her interests and activities include many things besides. Number one is piano. She loves to play the piano, as everybody knows, and everybody heard of, and she takes dancing lessons for many years. At the beginning of the high school, she's been in the band for all 4 years, and that was a very impacting in her future endeavors. Ms. Plant has 3 sisters, all who teach pop. That's correct? All who have pop. Okay, good. She's married to, which is no fault to her own, but she's married to Paul. So we won't go into details about Paul. And she has 2 grown children, Sarah and John. And she has a granddaughter that's going to graduate from Lawrence County High School in May. 15. Her education background is she attended George Peabody College and graduated with a master's in what else? And her major emphasis was organ. Is that correct? Correct. While in Peabody, she performed at the band marching concert band, and she has a master's degree in Stanford. Stanford, sorry. So there's 2 different schools. Stanford. And then, so in her teaching career is a mile long. I just highlight most of it. While living at the White House, in White House, while living in White House, Tennessee, she taught elementary classroom music, and in Summer County also taught 3rd grade White House Elementary. And then in Birmingham, Alabama, at Homewood Elementary School, she taught in the classroom as music. So as you can see, she has a long list of music background. And also, when you interject there, she also has a CD. Is that correct? So if anybody wants to listen to a great CD, please share. And then she after a long period of time, she came back to Lawrenceburg, and she taught at Lawrenceburg Public in the 3rd grade after retiring in 2006. That's correct. Like I said earlier, she had, not only she has a long list of education background, she has in the community. While she's living in Birmingham, Sherry had the privilege of serving as church organist at Trinity United Methodist Church, and is currently serving as a church organist at the Coleman Memorial United Methodist here in town. Since 1974. She also serves as for children in the choir. And Sherry has been involved in the community theater, accompanying for many musical plays and shows, including The Gentleman from the Cane. She and her husband Paul plan and perform along the community group Christmas in the Park. And that is always a thrill. If you haven't seen that, please go. And if you don't have tickets, we'll be glad to give you some. That's y'all been doing that for 32 years, which is outstanding. And I think the most accomplished, besides tonight, she had won County Citizen of the Year, correct? So without further ado, I'd like to present Ms. Sherry Plant, Bethel Benson Award, retired education teacher. Family members, come on out.
Thank you so much.
Catherine Young was something to have an honor, an award named after Young Benson, named after Young Benson's great award.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda tonight is student requisition from Leoma Elementary School. Thank you.
As my first year at Leoma Elementary School, I turned this over to a vote with my faculty and staff. And let them nominate students, and then we turn it over to a vote. And our winner was, I won't say unanimously a winner, but she won by quite a large margin. And, being my first year, I don't know a whole lot about this student because she never gets in trouble. But I asked that some of our faculty and staff write some things about her. I'm going to read those today. They're really moving. I've known Ivy for the past 3 years, from Lego Robotics and now homeroom. Ivy is always ready to help. She often sees a need before I do. She loves helping her friends. One of my favorite Ivy moments is when I was having a particularly rough day. I thought I was hiding it pretty good. She came up to me and told me that she was going to pray to Jesus to help me to have a better day. She then proceeded to go and tell all the wired up sugar-crazed 5th grade students that I just needed some quiet time, even just for a few minutes. I go into Ivy's class, and one day another student was crying because she didn't understand the class material. Ivy went to the student, encouraged her, gave her a pep talk, and the student calmed down. It was so genuine and sincere. Ivy is always looking for ways to help others, and she seems very selfless. It made an impact on me. I had Ivy in my homeroom last year. She is a student who is very trustworthy and always willing to lend a helping hand. She looks out for the best interests of others and looks for ways to make others feel included. Ivy is overall a well-rounded student. Anyone would be lucky to have her in their classroom. I had Ivy in kindergarten. She was always smiling and encouraging others. She was helpful to me as well as her classmates. She was an all-around great student and hard worker. I cannot say enough about her character. While I myself am new to Leon Elementary School this year, I've had some positive interactions with Ivy Springer. I would like to share some now. This year, Ivy's older brother, Simon, is a 6th grader student with me, and he actually is in my homeroom. Often she stops by my door in the mornings just to offer a smile and tell Simon that she loves him. Once, when he was out sick, she was at my door, first thing in the morning to let me know that he would be absent and to put his makeup work, even though I never sent for her to do such a thing. Her kindness towards others makes her a great choice for the award presentation. When I think of Ivy, I think of a kindness. Ivy is always nice to everyone, and when I see her, she always is willing to help anyone. I have never heard anything negative from her, nor have I ever seen her with any other student without a smile on her face. Ivy is one of the kindest and sweetest students I have ever met in my 18 years. She always puts others before herself. Always comes back at the end of class to help me clean up or ask to do anything that she can do to help. She is very deserving of this reward. I am new to the building, but I noticed her right away. She is always smiling and has a sweet personality. She has a love for Jesus, and it shines through her smile and her personality. Whenever there is a need on my bus, Ivy immediately springs into action. If a student gets sick, she aids them by coming and getting the trash can. She awakens students who have fallen asleep when I get to their bus stop. If a student is upset and crying, Ivy puts her arm around them and comforts them by showing love and compassion. Ivy has a nurturing quality that you don't see in all students. She is one of the last students who gets off my bus, so she picks up any trash without even being asked to that might be left on the bus and puts up all the windows at the end of the day. Ivy can be described as kind, respectful, polite, generous, caring, and thoughtful. She is very deserving of this recognition. Ivy is an inspiration to me and all of the Leoma family. She is a blessing to our school. The world needs more people like Ivy. Our student of the month for Leoma Elementary School is Miss Ivy Springer.
I bet she's something else.
Miss Martin.
Next on the agenda tonight is student recognition from David Crockett.
Good afternoon. Today, I would like to recognize a student, Arnold Douglas. It's a great pleasure to recognize him as our Student of the Month for David Crockett Elementary School. He is a 5th grade student. He has consistently demonstrated outstanding qualities that set him apart as a remarkable individual and an exemplary student. From the moment Arnold joined our school community, because he didn't start in kindergarten, he came like in 3rd grade, as he has impressed us with his remarkable self-drive and determination. He approaches every task and assignment with unwavering commitment and enthusiasm, consistently delivering his best efforts without hesitation. Arnold's dedication to his work is truly admirable, and he serves as a shining example of excellence for his peers. Not only does Arnold excel academically, but he also embodies the values of integrity, compassion, and respect in everything he does. He is a trusted and reliable member of our school community, always willing to lend a helping hand and support his peers. Arnold's kindness and caring nature make him a beloved role model for his fellow 5th graders, and he actively promotes a positive and inclusive school environment. Throughout his years at David Crockett, Arnold has shown tremendous growth and maturity. His polite demeanor, he always says, "Good morning, Miss Jackson," or he's always very polite. He has diligent work ethic and respectful attitude has earned him his admiration and respect of both students and teachers alike. Arnold's dedication to his personal and academic growth is evident in the progress he has made, and we are incredibly proud of his achievements. He's come a long way, especially this year, so we had several teachers that recommended him. Arnold's teachers speak highly of his character and work ethics, noting his consistent commitment to excellence and his willingness to go above and beyond expectations. He is described as loving, respectful, and always eager to learn, a true testament to his exceptional qualities as a student and as a person. In recognition of his outstanding achievements, unwavering dedication, and positive impact on our school community, we proudly honor Arnold Douglas as our Student of the Month. Congratulations, Arnold, on a well-deserved recognition. We're grateful to have you as a valued member of our school community and look forward to witnessing your continued growth and success in the future.
Next on the agenda tonight is public comments, and I don't believe we have any of those. So we'll move on to item number 1, consent items. Can I get a motion to approve A through E?
Motion to approve.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, report items. First on the report item is Leoma Elementary School, Mr. Weathers.
At Leoma Elementary School, our mission is to empower all learners with the knowledge and skills for success, and today I'll be sharing how the wonderful people that I am blessed to work with accomplish this on a daily basis. Our enrollment as of today at 4 o'clock is 590. This is the largest student population that anyone I've spoken with has ever remembered at Leoma Elementary School. This is both a blessing and also provides a lot of challenges for us. The first challenge I faced as principal was our extensive car rider line. We added about 80 to 90 new car riders this year, and so our car rider line went all the way and wrapped around the building and out Rabbit Trail Road past the market, and the State Highway Patrol told me I could not do that, and so the first thing that we changed was the car rider line. The next thing that we had to do for all of our growth is we had to be really creative about the layout of our building. A challenge that we have right now is our RTI groups. A lot of those folks have to meet in the hallway outside. It's pretty distracting for those kids when, just day-to-day activities going up and down the hall. But we're very blessed to have that many students that want to go to Leon Elementary School. We currently have 40 teachers, 14 assistants. We have many clubs and activities. Our Junior Beta Club won 2 awards for the arts at the convention this year. Our Lego robotics teams, they had 3 teams advance to the state competition. Our drone competitors, we have 2 teams advancing to the Southeast Regional and 1 team advancing to the national competition. We have Knowledge Bowl teams in both middle and elementary school. We have middle school athletics and cheerleading. We have FCA that happened this morning. I got to be a part of that. We have the largest classroom in the building, and that is packed full of 6th through 8th grade students on every Thursday morning for FCA. We have around 50 kids in our chorus. We provide cross country at the elementary level, intramural basketball at the elementary level, and 6th through 8th grade band. Our current school letter grade is a D, and that is not acceptable at Leon Elementary School. And our response to our school letter grade is, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do to try to fix those things. Our PLCs, Mr. Atkins has allowed us to have PLCs this year, and he gave us building principals the authority to choose what our building needed. And so what we do is the first and second Tuesday and Wednesday of each month, we meet with each grade level band, and the things that we focus on the first week is high quality instructional material and standards, the link between the two of them, and our learning targets. The week after that, teachers bring in examples of student work. We look at different depth of knowledge questions 1 through 3, and we determine, does the assessment match the standard? Do we see common mistakes in student works? If so, what are our next steps to address those mistakes? This Thursday, we are fortunate enough to be able to have a school-wide PLC. This PLC, we will look at standard progression. We will have groups of teachers, grades 4 through 8, and also kindergarten through 3, and we will start with standards in the lowest grades, and look how those standards progress and lead to from year to year. And I think it's going to be very beneficial for the students. For example, if I was a 4th grade teacher, this is my standard. In 5th grade, this standard will be built upon by adding this. My work from my book looks like this. At the next level, this is added to that. I think that will be a great opportunity for us. RTI2B, tomorrow, every 9 weeks, we have what's called ABC rewards. We can't teach you if you are not at school. The A in ABC rewards stands for attendance. Students cannot have ABC rewards unless they have 2 or less unexcused absences. B is behavior. Students will, whatever their grade level expectation is, they have to meet that goal, and they cannot be suspended in school or out of school to qualify for ABC rewards. And finally, C is classwork. They can't have missing assignments, and they also have to have 100% of their AR goal and the percentage. We also have what's called all-star students. All-star students are selected by the teacher each week. They get a certificate, and we put their picture on Facebook. And these students must have perfect attendance for the week and have displayed how to be a model teammate every day of the week. We also have attendance chains. If the classroom has nobody absent, nobody checks out early, nobody late, they get a ring. If they have 10 rings, we provide them with a Coke party or a pizza party or a popsicle party. We also, my favorite thing that we do in RTI2B, we have check-in, check-out. Check-in, check-out is an opportunity for adults to make a relationship with the student. We selected these students, we let teachers and faculty staff select these students, and these kids just need a little bit of extra help. My student, he's a third grade kid, he's a great kid, he just needs a little bit of extra help to get him ready to start his day, and it's my favorite thing to do. He's always waiting for me right when I get there, and I just cannot wait to encourage that kid and get him ready. I think he would probably call me his cheerleader, and I can't wait till the afternoon, see how his day went, and give him a launch to get the day started in the morning. We also did a lot of changes on our schedule. We have maximized the learning time in our ELA and our math blocks. We make sure that those times are not interrupted by anything, and we get the maximum amount of effort out of our scheduling. We've also been giving teachers leadership opportunities. This week I had a math teacher lead a faculty meeting where she showed our teachers how to better use their data to drive their instruction. We also have had support from foundations like NIET and district instructional coaches. And this year we have implemented AR in every grade level, mandatory, first grade through 8th grade. We feel like in order for our reading scores to improve that we have to get better at reading by practice reading. We also do capturing kids' hearts. It is non-negotiable. They have to have a social contract, and faculty and staff must be in the hallways welcoming students in the mornings. We also do shout-outs. Shout-outs is one of my favorite things that we do. In the mornings, if a teacher sees a kid do something good, or a cafeteria worker, janitor, anyone, they can leave a shout-out on my desk. And for example, we had one a week or so ago from the janitor. Kid was walking by, there was a spill, the janitor was cleaning it up, the kid stopped, went to the bathroom, got some paper towels, helped the janitor left him a shout out. It's just something that makes us feel good. We also have random acts of kindness. Random acts of kindness week, we did the students, this was their idea, they did a fundraiser for Friends of Lawrence County Animals and raised over $200. Our new additions and future additions to our campus. Our new additions are a paved parking lot. Ms. Burns said it would never happen, and she left, and it did, and I sent her pictures, and she boy, just seen her face. We have new grass in the front lawn in front of our school, and we have a new roof on the front of our school. Our future additions, they've did the dirt work for an outdoor classroom and a greenhouse, and we really appreciate that. There's plans in the works for an electronic gate, a playground pavilion, and this summer we're getting new serving lines in our cafeteria. My first year as principal at Leon Elementary School has been challenging, and I have lots of areas where I need to improve. I learn something new every day, and I feel supported by the school board, Mr. Atkins, and the central office staff. It is an honor to represent Leona Elementary School and the faculty and staff that I have been so blessed to lead. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mr. Weathers?
Well, I
Go
do
ahead,
have a
John.
question. I don't know if it's for him. What is our capacity for that school? Anybody know?
Do you know from memory?
We're at capacity is 590, 600.
That's true about every school, isn't it, now?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We have had people try to enroll that do not live in our zone, and we don't have any room for those students, so we have had to turn some folks away.
I was just wondering how many, what's the cafeteria, the gym, and what was everything designed, because all of our facilities are designed to hold so many student bodies. So around 600
Yes,
is
sir.
what that was designed.
And
And then you mentioned having to make some changes to the car rider. Is that issue resolved?
Yes, sir. Right now, that issue has been resolved. We made the line a lot longer. Instead of dropping off at the south end of the building, we now wrap it. We changed where the buses go, and we wrap that line around the building to the front. And so that gave us room for about 60 more cars, and we just try to get a little faster at doing it. So that issue is going pretty well right now. But back to the cafeteria, our cafeteria, we have to eat lunch from around 10:30 is where we begin, and we don't stop until 1. So we really have to take advantage of all of our time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, the school report is Davy Crockett from Ms. Jackson.
So did y'all get a copy of all my report in your packets, right? Okay, I didn't do a handout this time. So for our 23-24 report, our current enrollment, which that was a few days ago, was 451. We added like 4 students today, and we added a couple at spring break. So last year at this time, after spring break, I don't know what happened. We had about 15 after spring break, I think. You know, you never know how many are you going to get. That's like Monday. We're like, how many are we going to get? How many are we going to lose? So I don't think anybody transferred out this time, but we did get a few more students this time. Pre-K, we have that should be right around 38 right now. We have 2 pre-K classrooms, and we keep those pretty full most of the time. Usually we're full by the time the enrollment comes around. We might have a few openings for ones that don't meet the income guidelines eventually, but most of the time we do keep that pretty full based upon the income guidelines. We have 34 teachers, including guidance, RTI, PE, computer, library, and exploratory. 2 core, this year, y'all funded 2 core, or somebody funded, 2 core ELA intervention teachers that I used in 1st and 2nd grade. They teach ELA sort of like they go to an ELA class, and that also, I have a teacher in 3rd and 4th grade that I've utilized this year. If those positions are refunded for next year, I will probably use them in a little bit different way if I'm allowed. We have 2 retired part-time ESSER teachers that work 2 days a week, and 2 full-time assistant ESSER positions. Those have been the last 3 years, I think, 3 years. I've had the same people, and we've been utilizing those to help with our gaps. Our areas of strength this year, we were a reward school designation. I was proud of that, and we had a B state letter grade. Because last year, we were a targeted assistance school for our white population, and then, so we worked with the state, and anyway, we got out of that this year, so we actually got up to a reward school. Our math growth level was a 5, our science growth level was a 4, and you can see where our achievement numbers were, so they were rather, decent, met or exceeded in those grade levels. We were proud of our 3rd grade ELA scores this year. We didn't have a whole lot that had to retake the test or go to summer school. We ended up with 3 kids that are in 4th grade that they're going to have to make that adequate growth, or they have a possibility of being retained. So those are 3 kids that we're really concentrating and working on for this school year. We are a trauma-informed school. We work through that, so we say that's one of our strengths. Areas of weakness, our ELA literacy was level 1, and our math achievement, it was up from last year. Science was at a 35.9, so it's dependent on our growth and our achievement, how things go. The ELA, some of that was from, we had a new to that grade teacher that taught ELA. She actually came from Murray County. She taught kindergarten for years, so that was her first year in 5th grade ELA. This year she went to kindergarten. That's her niche. So anyway, so we kind of revamped that. Math, we also had a teacher that was teaching that had not taught it before. We're working to increase student performance by providing tutoring students of need through the ESSER funding. And we do that during the day, and we have about 8 groups in the afternoon that are targeting 3 students each. We have increased parent involvement in meetings, conferences, and activities. So some accomplishments by our faculty and staff. We had a school and district K through Teacher of the Year, Miss Allison Rochelle. She's taught there quite a few years, and she is excellent. 2 teachers from, this is an accomplishment, but it kind of hurt me. I had 2 teachers from Crockett that were hired as district ELA coaches. So, that was y'all's gain, which was my loss. So, anyway. And I had some teachers that have finished some master's degrees. Shonda Glass, she just completed her master's in ESL, which I hope to not lose her to that. She's my special ed teacher. Stephanie Wright and Kayla Caruso finished their master's in curriculum and instruction May of 23. Lindsay Hart, my school nurse, just completed her RN program, and I threatened her she better not be going anywhere. Last year, we were a TVA School Uplift Grant winner. We were awarded $25,000. We installed a new pavilion and some picnic tables, and we have been nominated for Capturing Kids' Heart National School Showcase. Some of our accomplishments: we had students placed in 17 categories in the Beta Convention and qualified for nationals, and I think the newspaper's about to do a write-up about our Beta Club awards. Our Lego robotics team advanced to the state level robotics competition, and this is, the state robotic competition is not just for elementary, it's included middle school. So we placed third in core values, and core values is that they displayed extraordinary enthusiasm and spirit, knows they can accomplish more together than they could as individual, and shows each other and other teams respect at all times. And I am most proud of that, and that was out of 48 teams. As you see, we have quite a few clubs and activities at David Crockett Elementary School that teachers sponsor these things. And at the elementary level, we do not have any supplements that go along with that. So they, take their time and they spend time with these kids on these different activities. So we have quite a few things going on there. We had a controversy, I'm sure you heard about that, about the intramural basketball and cheerleading, and that's still something that we're pondering and working on, deciding about for next year. Indoor soccer, we started that the last couple of years. We love it. If you haven't got a chance to come out and see indoor soccer, you need to come see it. Next week at LPS, there's like 3 days, we're doing indoor soccer there. The week after that, the first week of April, we're hosting tournaments at my school, and it's fun. It's like 20 minutes. The games are like 20 minutes. They're really fun to watch. They're very exciting. Future projects. Right now, we're working with the PTO and the school and possibly board assistants. We haven't asked for this yet. To redo our playground because the pea gravel's getting down to the dirt. The railroad ties are deteriorating. We're looking at those black things to go around each of the playground areas. Redoing our bathroom stalls, that has been approved and we're on the list. We're trying to get our front desk area redone. We're trying to get bids. If you know of anybody that will give me a bid and come out and look at it, send them my way. I've asked and asked and asked, and nobody won't come out there and try to get me a bid. Additional cameras to be added. We actually got 3 new cameras over spring break that's actually 9 because they cover 3 areas. We got 1 in the gym, so now I can see everything in the gym area, and there's 2 facing out to some of the playground areas that's covering like 6 worth of cameras. So we're excited to have those added, and I think we'll probably get more in the future. We're still looking at getting some edging around the front flower beds and finishing the gravel and grass around our new pavilion that we just added with our grant. We have had many capital projects completed over the last couple of years, and we are most appreciative. I didn't send you any pictures, but if you're out my way, come out there and see what y'all have paid for. Fencing around the play area by the farmland. It kind of goes up and around and by the farmland. It doesn't come down by the trees because that's not really most of the time where we have any issues of kids trying to run. It's the lower grade, so we've got that fenced in that area. Resurfacing of our parking area and our track was done. Our library floor. If you haven't seen, if you've seen the room over here, correct? With the blue floor in our library, we did the same thing and we love it. We love it. And I think some other people are getting on board with that now. We really love it. The roof screws were replaced this past summer to help with some of our leaks. We got a few more that we're still working on. Our gym floor was refinished, partially funded by the board. New speakers for the gym, that was with PTO and school funds. I didn't ask for any funding from the board on that. So those are kind of the things that we have that's been going on. We're very thankful, as Mr. Weathers talked about, Capturing Kids' Hearts. We've had that the last couple of years. We love that program. It is great for our students and with our school community, so I'm hoping that we can keep that funded. Tutoring positions, The intervention classroom teacher reduction. BizTown, I didn't talk about that. BizTown is something that we went to the last few years, and it's been funded. We love it. It's a great experience for our kids. So we hope that can continue to be funded also in the future. So, y'all have any questions for me? Oh, I am one of the schools that's probably not overcrowded. So, anyway.
You got room.
I have room, actually. So my actually two interventionists have a class. They actually have a classroom. They have a classroom. Those teachers do. I actually have a RTI room where my RTIs can have their RTI groups. I have a tutoring room where my tutors can have tutoring groups. Because when I came there, that was the first year, 6th grade went to Kaufman. So that has allowed us to have actually more room than a lot of places.
I do want to say congratulations on being Reward School. Please let your staff know that's very, very well accomplished, and congratulations. I also want to commend you on having the intramural basketball program. I know it was a big controversy, and I know I'm glad you stepped up and have that, you and Lawrenceburg Public, correct?
Mm-hmm, yes.
And also, I do want to kind of piggyback on what she said on the soccer. It's a pretty good program. It's going on for 3 years now.
This is our third, I think, yes.
And it's pretty fun to watch. These kids, it's amazing how the coach takes them at the beginning of the season and gets them ready for the tournament. So, not to brag, but the coach is pretty good. So, but if you go see it, it's pretty fun to watch. It's kind of better than a basketball game. So, but that's near hearsay. But congratulations on that, and keep up the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
I did have one last
Go ahead,
question.
John.
What was the trauma school?
Trauma-informed school, it's kind of going back to restorative practices and just think about our kids and what we were actually, me and Crockett and Etheridge, we did some training on that to where when we have kids, because we have a lot of kids that come from trauma backgrounds, that we've been trained in that, how to handle kids.
So when you say we, who does that incorporate?
So it was my guidance counselor and another teacher and myself that were trained. Because in the past, we had been trained, the whole system had been trained in restorative practices and circles, and it kind of goes along with that. It kind of goes along with our RTI 2B for behavior. So that kind of all works together, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I do invite you to come out and see the things that have been going on that you've paid for. And I invite you, if you would like to proctor for TCAP that's coming up in a few weeks, that we'll be glad to have you. If you want to give us your name and number, you can call school.
Moving on to report item B, personnel report. That was in your packet. Are there any questions regarding that? Moving on to item C is director's report. Mr. Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our budget season's underway. We had provided our principals a budget request list. They've turned those in. Now we will begin the process at the central office of reviewing those in each of the departments. You've heard tonight about tutoring interventionists. That is the number one thing that has been shared with me from our principals as a need, a continuation. Mrs. Elledge and I and Mrs. Ridgway have had several discussions. We actually have another meeting tomorrow to continue that discussion. We've seen progress. We've seen student performance increase with that high dosage, low ratio tutoring, but we have also had money from the state and the federal government to fund that at such a high level. Of course, that can not continue to be funded at that level, but we are finding ways to provide our teachers, our principals with what they are saying is most needed right now. So I'll keep you updated on that. Our enrollment is steady, as you've heard from Mrs. Jackson, and I've heard from other principals this week. After spring break, we get 2 or 3 kids here and 2 or 3 kids there. That happens all the time in Lawrence County, and something that we need to continue to monitor. Our growth in the county, 4.2% growth since 2020, and one of the groups, and it's not in that census report, I don't believe, but our fastest growing population is under the age of 18, and that's between 7 and 8%, and that's been, the last time I got data on that was in July of 2023, but that's our fastest growing population in that group. You've heard me talk about universal school choice or the education freedom scholarships. That is still before the General Assembly. I was on a call today with Speaker Sexton. I was on a call yesterday with Speaker Sexton and a subcommittee chairman. I'm not sure where that's going to land, but I do know there's more and more concern being voiced to the legislators of the potential impact that it would have on the schools throughout the state, especially in Lawrence County. Our teachers are gearing up for state mandated testing that will begin next month. And then our high schools are also gearing up for that as well. Great things happening in Lawrence County because we have great people doing great work. I've spent 2 days this week at schools for the entire academic day, speaking with teachers, talking with kids, serving lunches. We have a lot to be proud of in Lawrence County, and I'll just share this story with you. A lady today, a teacher, came to me and just wanted to talk. And she said, I was in a district out of state, and I was to the point that I needed to get out of education. It had the system, the way the education was in that state had taken the joy from her. And she said, I came here and I got to walk in one of these schools and I got to teach, and how thankful she was for Lawrence County school system. Just had nothing but positive things to say about it. So we have a lot of great things going on in Lawrence County, a lot to be proud of because of the great people. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for Mr. Atkins? Moving on to item D, LCEA. I don't see a representative here. Do you have anything to add to that?
We've had 2 meetings in collaborative conferencing, and that's going well. I'll try to put some highlights in the weekly update for the board to look at.
Moving on to Tennessee Legislative Network. Brenda, do you have anything to add?
Not really, just need to keep trying to get them to put the public money to the public schools. And right now, that's kind of in limbo, and they should be starting wrapping up in a few days.
Thank you. Moving on to consideration items. Number 3 is executive committee items. We had 2 for this past couple of weeks. Is the Mustang basketball overnight, and that was approved. And we have a funding source of a special ed preschool grant, and that was also approved. Does anybody have any questions regarding those? Very well. Moving on to item number 4, budget item. We have approval of school bus bids.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Are there any questions regarding these bids? I believe you see them in front of you.
I've got one, Mr. Cruiser.
Go ahead.
Do we have any routes that have 78 pupils on those routes?
You want to speak to that, Mr. Rogers?
Not that have we don't have 78 capacity. But when you look at buses, a 78 passenger bus with 2 will seat holds 56 kids. When we look at bus numbers, they're the way the manufacturers have it, they put them 3 to a seat, which, as you all know, unless you're K through 2 maybe, you're not going to be able to get 3 to a seat. So we have several buses that have anywhere from 50 to 65. Some of our town buses, yes, they do have over 78, but they have a 90-passenger bus. So.
Last few buses that we purchased are out of ESSER funding, and so that had to relate to COVID. So we have to say that we're able to social distance on those buses, so that's why we have to look at that bigger capacity.
Any other further question? Do I have a motion to approve?
It's already on the
Oh, okay.
We have a motion and a second.
Oh, okay, we have
to
that.
approve. Yes, sir.
Please call roll.
Caruso,
Yes.
Daniel. Dryden,
Yes.
Hartsfield,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Mabry,
Aye.
Nodder,
Aye.
7 ayes.
The motion carries. Moving on to item 5, policy 5.310, vacation and holidays. Can I get a motion and a second?
Move we approve that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6 on the agenda is our next board meeting will be April 25 at 5:30. Are there any further items to discuss? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We got a motion to adjourn and a second. Motion adjourned.
Where they turn that?